Since the Republican Party has co-opted all of the planks of David Duke's former political platform, for example, equal rights for all, special rights for none, America for Americans, et cetera, isn't he the grandfather and founding father of the Tea Party and needs to be acknowledged as such? Second thing is, as for the embracing of the term, quote, Christian, unquote, in Republican politics, like Jesus would ever own a gun and vote Republican and turn his back on the poor and the sick and the homeless, which he loves so much, which the Republican Party wants to ignore or marginalize or eradicate. And Kevin McCarthy admitted Benghazi was a political witch hunt, and it cost him his speaker's position. Yes, game, set, and match. Thank you, Steve, for being on the show.
Zorro's various comments.
Well, it's nice to have some nice things said about me on your show. I really appreciate it. You know, David Duke received, I think it was 56% of the white vote when he ran against Governor Edwards. That says a lot. You know, it says a lot. And yeah, you can say that, you know, didn't want to vote for the crook, but he still received 56% of the white vote in Louisiana.
And he actually proved everyone right because he went to prison. Yeah, well, was convicted. He was a crook and still is a crook.
And they both went to prison, actually. You know, regardless.
But, I mean, invoking his name now, I mean, that's so ridiculous. I mean, the guy last ran for statewide office in 1991. He was last in the legislature in 1991. I mean, he hasn't been elected to anything since the one position in Metairie. He's constantly being brought up as some kind of relation to the Tea Party. From what I can understand, there's nothing to do with the Tea Party, nothing to do with David Duke. The Republicans who believe in conservative values in Congress are not following a David Duke playbook. So, I mean, it's just a way to marginalize and criticize conservatism. And David Duke spent most of his career, if I'm not mistaken, as a Democrat prior to being a, quote, Republican.
Again, the Democratic Party then was totally different than the Democratic Party now. We both, I mean, you know, it was. There is some similarities in the philosophy, political philosophies of David Duke and certain elements of the Republican Party. You know, look, there are some similarities in philosophies in political philosophies of the Democratic Party and Bernie Sanders, a socialist,
and communism. Which is a relation to communism.
To say it doesn't exist, I don't think it's fair. I do think that.
But Bernie Sanders is a candidate now. Bernie Sanders is running for president now. Is David Duke on the ballot now, Steve?
No. But I think that if you look at what I'm saying is, I think if you look at 56% of the white vote in
1991, when the opposition was a crook, okay.
Well, but I mean,
don't you have to say a lot of that has to do with the competition at that time?
No, because I think he also got the majority of the white vote against J. Bennett Johnson, didn't he?
That was in a previous election. I don't know what those totals
was,
were.
2 years before, a year or two before.
Again, let's go back to the 70s, Steve. I mean, how far back do you want to go? I mean, again, we're 2015, and the man is bringing up what happened a quarter of a century ago. It is patently ridiculous. Again, now there's no connection to the Tea Party or anything else. Steve, we got to go. We got guests coming on. Okay.